going back to the whole way, like where if you can piss and from there, it does say you can live up to a week in an X-wing.
Oh wow!
It does.
The X-wing is equipped with air, water, food, and life processes support equipment that are all packed into this area behind the pilot seat.
Well, I mean, if you look at R2, he's got a lot of storage space.
I mean, R2 gets thirsty. He just popped the lid off.
Poor R2. No wonder R2's so grumpy.
Hello there, you've found the Lost Holocron, an ancient artifact of lore and legends from a galaxy far, far away. Each transmission of the Lost Holocron, you will join an episodic discussion of media from the Star Wars universe. We will be your guides. Tim?
Hi, everyone.
Kyle?
Hiya.
Scott?
Hey.
And I'm Stuart. We'll be covering material up to and including Chapter 12 of Heir to the Empire. So Kyle, what happened so far?
Thank you for asking. Well, after the two foiled kidnappings on diplomatic missions, Leia, Organa-Solo, and Han Solo suspect a leak inside the New Republic government. They head to the Athega system to find Lando to get his help outside New Republic jurisdiction. Meanwhile, Luke Skywalker has been training Leia to be the first of the new generation of Jedi, while struggling with self-doubt as the teacher needed to rebuild the Order. On a hunch, he travels to Dagobah, hoping to find something left behind by Master Yoda. Ultimately disappointed, Luke recovers a nondescript gadget from the dark side cave, but suspects Lando can help with deciphering the secret written within. Meanwhile, Grand Admiral Thrawn's schemes are coming to a head, as he allied himself with Master Joruus C'baoth, clone and Dark Jedi. Captain Pelleaon devises a plan to disseminate that might lure Luke to C'baoth instead of sending more noghri to capture him. Finally, Mara Jade has apprenticed to the smuggler Talon Card as they play cat and mouse to tease information out of each other. Tim, what's going on in this chapter?
Well, of the many plot threads going on in this story, this one is focusing on Han and Leia. The Millennium Falcon arrives in the Athega system, with Han and Leia looking to meet with Lando. Luke arrives at just the right time for them to take the slow sublight trip to the inner system, since neither the Falcon nor Luke's X-Wing have slave circuits needed to precisely coordinate inbound ships with their shielding escort. Once at Niklon, though, the Empire shows up suddenly. Bad timing, or are they being tracked? I think they're being tracked. How about you guys?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just a really strange coincidence, but it does kind of feel a little too convenient.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of the Force works in mysterious ways, because, as I mentioned at the end of the last recording, the Athega system was mentioned by Thrawn as a place that they wanted to go before it's come up that Han and Leia and Luke are trying to find Lando here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I think as Thrawn works in mysterious ways, personally.
Or Zahn works in mysterious ways.
do you think he's bugged the Falcon, or...
That's a very good question. Maybe he left the device. Maybe the device is a tracking device. I don't know. Maybe he has spies.
Luke's device?
Luke's device, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, who knows, honestly.
I was thinking...
But I believe Thrawn would find a way.
Mm.
I was thinking about it this chapter, and I know Thrawn's supposed to be incredibly intelligent. I wonder if he thinks this is worth it. He's putting a lot of effort into this. I mean, I feel like he could... I don't know. I guess he's just super into the Empire then, right? Like, if he's so intelligent, if he wanted to think of something better to do, clearly he thinks this is the best option.
Right.
So what
I
if,
feel like I might have mentioned before, but like Thrawn's plans have dual and I'm not sure what triple might be in with those words, dual or triple meanings behind them, because as with the raid on Vafash, he was using that both as a testing ground for C'baoth. He was using it to enforce the chain of command. He was using it to also draw out the New Republic away from Sluis Van, that we know is his next target, almost. So it's not like anything that he does has multiple layers to it, and he also has contingencies for those. So I don't feel like he does. I feel like he gets a lot of return for all of the operations that he puts out, because it's not just one reward, it's 3 rewards or 5 rewards. Or
He's a 5D chess player.
yeah, he's getting multiple dividends from his investment.
Yeah.
He's got a well-diversified portfolio.
I don't know about you guys, but Niklon is such a cool planet concept. I really, really liked it. Have you guys seen the movie Sunshine?
No.
It's a sci-fi movie from 2007 with Cillian Murphy, Chris Evans, Michelle Yeoh, Mark Strong. It's really freaking awesome. It's just about like a trip of astronauts going to the sun. There are multiple sequences throughout it where they need to be shielded from the sun, so they themselves.
Is that the one where they have to like restart?
And this reminded me a lot of that, with how close the sun is for them. And so, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Hold on. What was their concept for reigniting the sun?
Probably something to do with global warming or climate change. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a bit since I've seen the movie, so I don't remember that much. I just remember really tense sequences where like a little bit of sun will get through and someone will start like burning up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Sunshine's a really cool movie, and this chapter really made me think of it.
Yeah. Is that the one where they had to go reignite the sun? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then it suddenly becomes a slasher movie. And people didn't like that. I was okay with it, but this did not go that route, as far as we know.
As far as we know,
yeah, not yet.
There's always the next chapter.
R2 could have lost it during the 10-hour ride. Which is insane. 10 hours in an X-Wing?
Oh, yeah, for Luke, that would have been... And he just, like, had jumped straight in there from his dark side experience. So he was covered in sweat.
Does he have a way to use the restroom in there?
He must do, right?
I mean, isn't that what all the hoses are, like, on the X-Wing pilot suit are? Like, all the hoses and everything. Like, you got the breathing hose.
That was more for oxygen.
But then, but then, like, don't you have, like, some going, like, underneath the crotchal region?
We don't piss where we breathe, Scott.
Look, type technology.
Maybe you do in Star Wars. I don't know.
It could be like the Fremen's recycled suits. What are the suits called, Scott?
The still suit. Yeah, maybe.
Still suit.
Even then, can you imagine how cramped he must be?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe he was taking a nap at some point.
How much legroom do they have? Because I imagine they don't need to use their feet. Do they have legroom down there? Is he doing the splits?
Does he have like pedals?
Let's find a cross section right now.
Maybe based on the Lego model that I had, he had plenty of foot room.
right? Yeah.
Like I know I wasn't I wasn't a big fan of Star Wars when I was younger. I did love those cross section books.
Yeah, those are cool. But I mean, one of those hoses could be hooked up to R2. And then, like, he's just like the waste recycler. Maybe that's the real reason why they have to have like an R2 unit on the X-Wings and stuff. Because it's like waste recycle. And then they just like they let him down, and then they hook him up to like the gray like the black water drainage. He's the porta potty. R2 is just the porta potty.
I sent a cross section to you guys.
Oh, so yeah. See right here in this cross section, it says P2 right here.
Yeah, it does?
No, joking.
Okay, I was like, I was looking through it for something like that, and I was like, whoa, did he find it? I mean, his legs don't look like they're in the worst spot. It
does look like he has some pedals, though. What do the pedals do?
The accelerator and the brake, right? Does he have a clutch? It's a 5 or 6 speed manual.
They're the pitch and roll control pedals. Pitch and roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Says it right there, Kyle.
Oh, my bad.
I don't think Kyle's looking at the actual thing. He's just messing with you.
I posted the link for a reason.
Oh, okay. I'm still looking through my own book. Oh, yeah, he's pretty reclined there.
Well, what's hilarious is he does have pedals.
Does he have like massage feature on the seat too? Like heated seats?
Yeah, I mean, you could look.
It looks like about as comfortable as like one of those like cheap beach chairs that
like
like
a chase lounge or something. You can like an Adirondack chair at Chase Lounge.
I take a nap on that.
10-hour nap.
I guess also, what is he wearing in this?
He's wearing his
pilot suit,
flight suit, probably.
Is he wearing his like X-wing getup?
Is he wearing his like stupid little black outfit?
He's got to have his breathing mask and his.
It said something about a tunic in the last one.
Was he actually flying with that, or did he actually have his suit on?
I mean, he had to have flown with it in The Mandalorian.
And I mean, like, X-Wings have hyperdrives, so they have to be as comfortable as however long your hyperdrive flight is. And hyperspace travel can take, depending how far you're going, days.
Right. Even though it's, faster than light, it can still take forever.
Yeah. Still, I wouldn't want to be in that for 10 hours.
Right.
I'd rather be in the Falcon.
The Falcon is very cushy compared to this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can at least get up and walk around.
Although, going back to what Kyle asked about massage, I would have imagined that the chair is has some sort of movement. Because if you've got to sit in that thing for a long time, you wouldn't want to get compression sores or something. So there would be something there to mix up all the pressures across your skin.
Well, I imagine also, I mean, it's a fighter. It's not like a freighter or anything. So they're probably not making a 10-hour trip on the regular.
Probably. That might be one of their maximum. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say a couple of days is probably the maximum flight range of an X-wing.
Yeah, but I mean, in most cases, they would probably just use the hyperdrive as well.
Yeah.
Right.
There is a quote unquote cargo bay here, so maybe that's where it's all going.
What, all the Blackwater, the waste.
Putting junk in the trunk.
Yeah.
It is in a convenient location to where his ass is.
Convenient.
Yeah.
So yeah, Naklon seems to be like a heavy Mercury kind of planet, it seems. And the contraption that they've got is a bunch of AT-ATs strapped together with a giant city on its back.
Yeah.
That's great.
They said 50 AT-ATs?
It sounded like it was the Imperial Dreadnought strapped on its back. The Superstar Destroyer from Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Yeah.
It said it was half the size of a... Oh, no, that was the shield ship that they were hitching the ride with. It was half the size of a Star Destroyer. And then...
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so quirky. They just walk around on the planet mining.
Yeah.
I like that the shield ship is a modified B-wing.
A modified B-wing?
Yeah.
Wasn't that their... No, the escort was a B-wing. So
that's what he's talking about.
I'm sorry.
They were the patrollers.
Oh.
And then the shield ship is something else entirely.
Oh, okay.
This huge umbrella thing that had a tiny little tugboat in the center.
Right.
But the B-wings are security.
I'm sorry, real quick. Just going back to the whole way, where if you can piss and from there, it does say you can live up to a week in an X-wing.
Oh wow!
It does.
Right? Yeah. If you in that gift you sent me.
Well, I mean, if you look at R2, he's got a lot of storage space in there.
It says independent operation. The X-wing is equipped with life support system sufficient for 1 week in space, air, water, food, and life processes support equipment that are all packed into this area behind the pilot seat.
Oh my goodness.
So I believe those little blue containers, that's where his piston is going.
I still like my R2 theory, though. That's the real reason they need an R2 unit.
I mean, R2 gets thirsty.
Yeah.
You can recycle it. It's like Back to the Future, at the end when he's throwing garbage in the back of it. Maybe that's actually how R2 units are powered. They just use exactly.
You just pop the lid off.
Fusion or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, yes, I do love the dreadnought being carried by AT-ATs roped together.
I've got the quote here. It is the old dreadnought cruiser on top, the 40 captured Imperial AT-ATs underneath, carrying it across the ground.
Mm.
The shuttles and pilot vehicles moving around and in front of it.
They don't have 40 crews all walking in sync in those, do they?
No,
Nah,
I would think they're probably
yeah.
they're probably just on autopilot. Just push a button, just cruise control. You know, it's like
I imagine there's a central command that they're all linked to that's coordinating their steps.
So in this chapter, they introduce the idea of a slave circuit, which what I'm guessing is it's some sort of coordination programming that allows ships to move in sync with each other, because that's why they couldn't take they had to take the sublight route, the 10-hour trip. So instead, if you sync up the computers, the nav computers, then using the slave circuits, they could make the jump and be like precisely where they need to be in order to be shielding them right outside the planet. And then I'm guessing that the AT-ATs in this are slaved together in some way.
Yeah. And that's the other, another thing is that Han and Chewie are talking back and forth like, we ain't gonna let somebody take over our ship. We don't have a slave circuit on this thing.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Chewie talking?
Finally, we got something.
I know. Finally happened.
Finally.
But then later he gets mentioned as the co-pilot. And I was like, come on, man. You were doing so well.
How dare you?
Stop disrespecting Chewie like that. He's not the co-pilot.
We all know that Chewie is actually the pet owner and Han is his dog.
Yes, we do.
Who is, Han Solo is the captain. He's the captain, but is he also the pilot, or is Chewie the pilot?
I would say Chewie's the pilot.
Basically, I feel like Chewie pilots more often, or was piloting more often as it went on. I think Han likes to think he can pilot really well, and he can, but I think Chewie's more consistent than Han.
Right.
I also heard a really cool fan theory a long time ago that Chewie was actually an early rebellion agent planted by the rebellion to run into Han, and this whole time Han just thinks he's running the show, but it's really Chewie.
Interesting. We don't get enough of Chewie's inner monologue to confirm or deny that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, Chewie's definitely the engineer.
Yeah.
But whether he is also the pilot or not, because when push comes to shove,
he often flies it.
Yeah, we often see Han at the controls when something's gone awry.
I imagine they've become pretty interchangeable. Like they're at the point where they know exactly who needs to take over when.
Yeah.
And can work in tandem.
Yeah, they're very in sync with one another, but
exactly.
I get the feeling like, and also part of that fan theory that I just mentioned was, it also says that the Millennium Falcon is actually Chewie's ship, just Han thinks it's his. And but
on the blockchain, you can verify that Chewie is the legal owner of that.
Yeah. At this point, they're so in tune with the ship, and it's like both of their baby,
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely one of the coolest ships in sci-fi.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And we get a new story of what the inspiration for its shape was every year.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because no one remembers. They were just working.
The ship itself is a character. It has its own personality. It's awesome.
It really, really is, yeah.
I should watch Solo. I haven't watched Solo yet.
Yeah, you should. Then you would see how explicitly wrong that fan theory is.
Well, I also heard this fan theory. So to give you context, I had copied and pasted this fan theory to my MySpace page. So it's that old. Yes, it's that old.
Oh, okay. That actually does help give a lot of context to it.
Right.
So kids, back in the good old days of the internet when we just started.
The interwebs. Yeah.
Yes. We used to have to code to share things about our lives.
Back when the only friend you needed was Tom.
But you could actually put music on your page. You could put music on your homepage.
Yeah.
Back in the day. You can't do that on Facebook. You can share it, but you can't,
Yeah.
Back in the days where you had no security and anybody just going into a website could infect your computer with malware.
Yes.
Oh yeah, those were great.
But beware, when somebody messages you on your MySpace page, they become your future ex-wife.
Oh, it sounds like you're projecting there. Unless it's Tom.
What if I want Tom to be my future ex-wife?
Tom will do that for you.
I think he will.
That dependable.
I'm a little surprised you know who Tom is, Tim.
I do, yeah. I'm not that young.
I'm not sure. Who is Tom?
He was the founder.
Oh,
Yeah. And whenever you signed up for MySpace, Tom was your friend.
There was no one on MySpace who didn't have a friend. I don't think you had the option to unfriend Tom.
Yeah. When civilization collapses, Tom will be there to weather us through the storm.
No, I think MySpace is gone. I don't think there's MySpace anymore.
No, Tom is still there. Tom is who we should send to meet the aliens. Be the ambassador for the human race.
Yep. He's the only guy.
Depends on who the aliens are. If it's the reptilians, I don't want it. Maybe the Greys or the tall whites.
Who should we send for the reptilians?
Oh, they're pretty violent.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mike Tyson.
He fits right in there.
Anyway, speaking of Chewie getting his first lines, we get Lando's first lines as well. However, we get Lando blocked. Before we can get Lando, there's a giant invasion.
I know. Why does he think we want action?
Look, guys, all we want is some Lando, some hot chocolate.
Colt 45.
Colt 45.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, looking forward to seeing Lando for a while. Wonder when he's going to come in. But now, yeah.
Yeah.
I really hope nothing happens to his operation, though, because they've tied together something that seems very precarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that thing is. I think all of their ships are about to get wrecked.
Those mole miners are looking pretty tasty right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is about to be a show of force that they have to run from.
Yeah, quite possibly. Although Luke's pretty handy in an X-wing, so
He is, yeah.
Yeah. When he has an empty bladder.
But actually, I guess it depends on why Thrawn is there, because maybe he just wants to grab them and run, because this is the third ambush they've had to try to capture these people.
Just scoops them up and zips out.
I'm not sure it's a capture thing, because Thrawn wanted mole miners, and in this chapter, Han explains to Leia what a mole miner is as well. So I think it's a resource raid.
Oh,
and that they just happen to be there?
Yeah.
that would make sense.
And so, if we're
And
going
so,
yeah, cutting back to where the edit's actually going to get in, I think it makes a lot of sense that we believe that it's a trap or something, because that's Han's perspective and Leia's perspective so far. They feel like they've been hounded and they might be bugged, and they're trying to escape being bugged, and they're being very careful not to broadcast themselves on the to the whole system in the communication. So it makes a lot of sense that they believe that it's some sort of like shadow work at play. But I think it really is a case of just wrong place, wrong time.
yeah.
Or right place, right time for Thrawn.
Yeah.
I do feel for sure that the next chapter is going to be from Thrawn's perspective, or just Empire perspective.
Ooh.
That would be really fun. I would enjoy that.
You know what would be really annoying, though? Is that we jump to Mara Jade and Talon Card doing nothing again.
Stop it right now, Stuart. I do not want that to happen. The book is being rewritten as you speak.
Let me flip my pages. Yeah. Timothy Zahn's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate those books where it's like you make a very obvious setup to like put yourself in the middle of the action, and like you said about the roller coaster going over the hill, then the author just cuts to something completely uninteresting. It's like, I didn't even care that this was part of the book. Get back to the characters that I want to talk about.
Yeah, right.
I've had the experience, I can't remember which book it was, though, that would happen so frequently that when you actually get back to the chapter that you think you were excited for, that it was a whole like dummy play, and turns out that it was like a misunderstanding, or like you get to this like high pinnacle of tension, and then it's completely diffused every time you go back there, and you're like, I don't want to talk about this character. Go to the tension that you set up just now.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Twilight.
Yeah, Hyperion did that a little bit, yeah, but yeah, occasionally, but it was okay. Still amazing books. It was a whole amazing series.
But yes, I have high expectations for this.
Did anyone else find it hilarious that they positively identified Luke by having 3PO speak to R2 over the comms?
Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
They're like a married couple just bickering back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
Oh. Although, like, doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of saying, hey, this is Han and Leia, that anybody who knows C-3PO and R2-D2 is like, they're going to know that they're with Luke and Han and Leia.
Yeah.
Right?
Would they? Are droids that important?
I mean,
in this case,
to a tactician like Thrawn, but maybe they don't know that.
Yeah.
I just realized how disappointing that Han and Leia were like, you know what? It's getting a little too intense here. Let's go the middle of nowhere and just like lay low for a minute. And as soon as they get there, it's just like, here's the story.
It's like a surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll have to edit that out.
That's okay. I made the effect for that reason.
I know.
Like I said, this is the first unscripted episode of the Lost Holocron.
This is the first uncensored.
Oh my God.
It is on our end anyway.
Although the reason that I think that Thrawn might be able to identify is as he's studying all the art of the heroes of what was it? The heroes of Endor, that like in the background he's just like, he sees these blue and golden droids, they keep showing up in
the golden god.
The golden god, yeah. That just like he's finding them in the background of a bunch of memes, and so it's like those people who try to identify people on the internet.
Or in C-3PO's case, he's the centerpiece and everyone else is the background.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that guy on TikTok who can tell you how tall you are based on just like whatever's in your background.
Oh God, that guy.
Thrawn is just that guy of like, well, right. I can cross-reference all of these things just based on the things in the background of these images that I'm getting of the propaganda. It's like,
so yeah, maybe Leia should have thought better.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked out. It was actually Luke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that could have been. That's what I didn't consider as the problem. I thought they weren't trying to communicate with everybody else in the system. They were not trying to blow their cover, but rather get a positive ID on each other. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, no, they were feeling pretty shaken up from the decoy Falcon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Han at this point is still finds it hard to believe that they found another YT-1300.
Right. Yeah. And now they're able to deepfake Luke's voice.
He's probably thinking to himself, "Wow, I wonder what kind of parts I can gallop off that thing." Seems like the Falcon always needs some kind of repairs.
Turns out there's just a little high-pitched mouse deep-faking Luke.
Oh, what are those little mouse people that you talk to in Lancel Republic 2?
Oh, yeah. What are they called? No, it wasn't Weequay.
No, the Weequays are the rough skins.
Right.
Is it Jek Ka is the bar, right?
Yes, that's the bar. But I'm on Wikipedia, and I'm at appearances and creatures. It doesn't seem like it's listed.
It's Chadrafan.
Chadrafan?
I'm pretty sure it's a Chadrafan. Yeah.
Cool, there we go.
Chadrafan was short, rodent-like humanoids, usually no more than 1 meter tall with a bat-like face, and they hailed from the watery planet of Chad.
Was that the guy? Okay, so remember, I think it's A New Hope, where we see the bar scene, like one of them's like reaching for a drink.
Yeah. I
The
think
bat-like face.
in New Hope.
Yes, right.
I never made that connection. Yeah, it is. Right, so we got a cool planet. Got a big old sun shield. Got a lot of lower back cramps for Luke.
We got a city built on AT-ATs.
Yes, a city built on AT-ATs.
Yes, I thought that was really awesome. That's badass.
We got just a glimpse of Lando.
And a chat fan that is performing a lot of deep fakes.
Yeah. We got some dialogue from Chewie. We got R2 and C-3PO squabbling.
Yep.
And now we got some action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a nice cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah. I hope this all pays off.
Yeah, it honestly was a really cool cliffhanger. I was like, yeah, I didn't expect this. Let's go. And now cut to Mara Jade and Talon Card watching from a distance.
Or cut to something entirely different that we don't even know of yet.
Yeah.
And now for something completely different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next chapter is the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. People didn't know that Timothy Zahn came up with it.
All right. So, this has been the Lost Holocron. You can find transcripts, links to discussion, and more at our website, lostholocron.com. While you're there, you can learn how to support the creation of future episodes. Read on, and we'll be waiting for you in the next transmission. We would be honored if you would join us.